Morning, British expat in the Philippines. Here we are, Boxing Day, here in the Philippines. Not many people know what it is, but I think you guys will know. Anyway, my thought for the day is back to everyday observations. Many of you may have experienced it. Some maybe haven't. Some maybe see it as an obstacle in coming here, a decision to live and retire in the Philippines. It's sad if that's what you see it as, because coming to the Philippines, like most of the time when you get a real answer as to why you're coming, is about getting off that merry-go-round of what we've known as life itself in the West. It's a recognition that things have to be a little different from now on, and therefore to achieve that, maybe some of us have to literally pick ourselves up and go to the other side of the world and find yourself a new place to rest your hat. Now, of course, we've talked about different age groups, different ages of the young ladies that we once thought that we might like, but maybe we've given it another thought. But at the end of the day, all Filipina will be Filipina, and therefore please don't come to the Philippines thinking that somehow you're going to change this beautiful lady that you've been talking to for months, maybe years on the internet, and think that you're going to change her way of seeing her life, especially now that she's met you. Because now that she's met you, the only thing that's changed is the amount of money that comes into the home. And therefore, it's not going to change her, it's going to change her attitude. But it's not going to change her. That is that she is still going to see life as a very fortunate situation that she's found herself in. Someone who can, yes, some people call it lifting oneself up. Well, I don't quite see it that way. I see it as an opportunity that she has found herself within, which will definitely change her attitude towards life. But it's up to us as the foreigners to maybe rein in a lot of the misconceptions about us being millionaires. It's always a good idea to actually be the one that decides on what money will be spent and by whom. Of course, if she's working, the idea that you should then top up her money on top of what she already earns, I think is a rather strange way of looking at it. Would you expect your wife in the West to top up your salary because your salary is lower than hers in the corporate field? I don't think so. I think as a family, you may well find yourself combining your assets to a degree when you came to buy the home, combining your assets when it came to maybe buying some nice new furniture for the lounge. But as to giving her an allowance or her giving you an allowance, I don't think that's a good idea. It doesn't teach her what she has already learnt, and that is independence. Because when you meet a lady who has a job, she already has that independence. She has that ability to decide what and how the money is spent. And why would you give up your right to do the same with your hard-earned money? Of course, it doesn't mean we have to all be Mr. Scrooge, but we also have to be careful that the finite resource that we have now, be it a private pension scheme or even a government pension, is not squandered on frivolous items in one's life of retirement. After all, retiring is just that. You're no longer in the workforce. Some of you have come here, there are Americans, dare I say it, yes, Americans, that have set themselves up to be the new business leaders of the world here in the Philippines. We are being greeted by the local dogs who clearly are letting everyone know we are here. Hello, doggy. Of course, these ones are tied up, so that they won't go rushing around your feet. But the thing, back to what I was talking about, is that the money that we earn, or that we are entitled to in our retirement, is in fact for us to spend wisely. Some of you may build a home. A lot of Americans do too. Oh, I love to bring in Americans because they make so many mistakes. There are some that build homes and end up having to sell the home that they've spent so much time and love creating, only to have more time spent building another one, and another one, and another one. And they call themselves building companies, which of course they're entitled to do, whether you're American or not. But really, they're not retiring here. They've just reside here with the idea of trying to better themselves in another country where maybe their wife comes from. Because trying to make a living here in the Philippines, certainly as a Westerner, is fraught with danger, as it would be for those Filipina who set up their businesses and have success and sometimes failure, because there's no guarantee anywhere in the world that your business will succeed. The ones that have succeeded have been in that business for 10, 20 years, maybe longer, maybe a family business. And therefore, for them, life is more stable. But even with big business here in the Philippines, you often see them, you can see it when you walk through the business. You can see that it's not as profitable as they might have thought. That in actual fact, their attempt to become also the big conglomerate in business has failed them here, even in the Philippines. The idea that somehow we should be giving our wife an allowance may well be relevant only really if she is not working. But to allow her to spend the rest of her life in leisure when she's only 20, 30 years of age is maybe setting herself up for a life of laziness. It's always good maybe to try and encourage your wife to maybe go back to school, to go to college, to maybe seek some of the dreams that she once had but couldn't afford. Now that would be a good investment for a family that is making the effort to build up their future resource. "Oh my goodness, what are they building here?" he said. "It looks like they're building maybe another septic tank for collection of the neighborhood pump outs." See, look, you've been here a few weeks, haven't been here for a few weeks, and already they're building a pretty major underground storage area, maybe individually or just for septic. We shall find out when I ask the question later. But we're heading towards the river. I won't go that far. We'll turn around. Yes, we'll do a 180 or a 360, no matter what you want to call it. I'm going to call it, I'll turn around. On my right is what was a septic tank. Oh, maybe that's what it's for. There's a big piggery going in next door here. Maybe it's for the purpose of the piggery. The septic tank is being set up for this new approved piggery here in our barangay. Again, a business venture with family members overseas who are allowing the investment of money for the family. And as a result, the old piggery is here, but the newer version is alongside it. If you want to see a really good piggery setup, have a look at the Tyke, Tyke, piggery vlog, because it will show you the setup that they're installing in their piggery in their home. You see, it's quite a big one. It's probably twice the size of David Tyke's one. But here the original piggery is next door, a much more basic version. But no doubt that's what the septic tank is being built for, to provide more industry and more income for the locals here in the countryside, the provinces of La Union. Now, to finish off my thought for the day as we wandered from subject to subject, it is very important that we get a balance between what is feasible and what is just plain craziness. Just to keep giving your wife X amount of pesos, if it's a small amount, and when I say a small amount, maybe 1,000 extra pesos per week for her pocket money, on top of maybe some money, maybe 500 for travel. That way she can go out, have a little wander at the mall, pick out a nice top for herself or maybe her daughter or son, and that makes her feel independent. But it is very important that while we are alive, that we search out ways of trying to make a sustainable lifestyle for her and the remaining parts of her immediate family after we're gone. So rather than sit there and complain about, oh, I can't own land, or I can't put my name on this or that, focus on your relationship, not on how you can deprive your Filipina, who will no doubt create many volcanic eruptions during your relationship. But over time you will get to realize how to deal with it. Go away. Go on, go away. Yes, I'm very nice. I'm very tasty. Uh-oh. Little puppies will always be so bold. But you have to be very careful that they are only local ones, not wandering dogs. Because the wandering dog, you don't know where they've come from. So it's always good to carry a stick with you. And you'll find that by bending over to pick up a stone, or look as if you are, and turn around fast, they will soon scamper with their tail between their legs. They'll still bark at you and make out they're the big tough guy. But that's a dog's life for you. So let's not ourselves live a dog's life. Let us design our lifestyle here in the Philippines with a thought in mind as to how we want it to be. Less stress, less conflict, and certainly a lot more happiness and enjoyment in our everyday thoughts. Also being aware of the delightful moods and changes in our partner for no apparent reason, but that's part of living with a Filipina. And those that have already done that or are doing it would know what I'm talking about. Sorry, no girly girls today. No one's looking for a foreigner pictures. Very pretty ones, but you'll have to find those ones usually on the Filipina channels where, hello.
Yes, sir.
And we hope you have a lovely Boxing Day. Don't go around boxing people, but the tradition is, as we all know, Boxing Day is when we give to the tradesmen during the year. That's the tradition of it. My mother used to invite them in for mulled wine, but she had more money than sense. So they were happy. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, 3 bags full, ma'am. But she liked that. She liked that feeling of power. Guess what? She was American. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. Come on, it costs you nothing to subscribe. Let's get over 7,000 now. That's our monthly tie. That's what we're trying to get to. Don't know why, but it just sounds good. Wouldn't it be lovely to have 10,000? 10,000, almost 1 million viewers so far. It's really great to have you following us, and I'm glad that you spend the time to listen to the whole video, because you miss out if you don't watch the whole video. Put it on late at night when you don't have to look at my face, and you can just listen to my sweet voice soothing you to sleep. Bye now.